Oh, hello there, son. How's it going? Hello, boy. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I got enough. Kids. Not really. I'm gonna keep on having kids. I pretty much the way that I have children is I pretty much save up the amount of money that it literally physically costs to birth them, and then when I get that much money, then I have the kid. Which is interesting to think about because it's like a lot of people like in the cities and shit, like when you go through the regular way of having a kid, you basically have to pay a bunch of money so they steal their fucking DNA, and then you have to have a very, like, I don't know what you would call it. You have to have a very, like, uncomfortable and fucking alien and impersonal birth with a bunch of fucking strangers that, if you knew them, you probably wouldn't want them anywhere near your fucking kid, but they're going to be putting their greasy fingers all over your newborn baby. Much better just. And the other sad thing is that, you know, like, people have to make like economic decisions to have children, you know what I mean? Like, they have to like there's a lot of people that haven't had kids because of fucking the economic stress of it. You know what I mean? Of being like tied into the system. Like, what am I gonna do with my kid when they're born? You know, I'm so free. I'm a woman. I'm super free. I'm so free that I'm gonna like work all the time and then fucking lose my fucking generations by not having any more kids, and I just disappear off the fucking earth. You know, shit like that. How can I maintain a professional pantsuit closet and have children? It's just not. I can't do it as a woman this day and age. You know. Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. I'm driving around. I'm going to pick up some wood. Yeah, it's true. They do fucking pay to raise kids if your AGI, if your AGI is low enough, you will get fucking taxes back, unless of course you don't fucking get your kids' social security numbers and like put them in the system, and then you can't even fucking file them on taxes. You don't get any of that. Josh saw a field getting plowed by a horse. Well, okay, Jag guy is asking me what do I know about the president of the BLM. Well, you have to be more specific because the BLM has so many different fucking entities that you have to be very specific. Somebody asked me, how do you not get a social security number? You just don't fucking do it. And then they send you some harassing mail where they're like, hey, you should really consider getting a social security number because stuff and things. And we're going to send you like fucking 10 letters for the next year. And you take those and you put them exactly where they belong, in the fucking fire or in the trash or whatever you do. And then you just don't get a fucking social security number. That's how it works. So which president of BLM are you talking about? Because there's a bunch of them. Are you talking about BLM Foundation? Like out of California? Are you talking about the Black Lives Matter Foundation out of California? mean, I've looked at them. I mean, I don't. What do you know about them? You sound like you want to say something about them. Most of it's based out of Oakland. For somebody's asking, where's Cali BLM based off? Most of them are based out of Oakland. Like the original, like, you know, group that it's like based on, or entity, I guess, is based out of California, in Oakland. There's actually several in Oakland. Now they're kind of like spreading out. I think the one that Jag is talking about is the Santa Clara one. Is that correct? You're talking about Black Lives Matter Foundation out of Santa Clara. Somebody asked me if I've ever messed around with hollow. Fuck yeah, I fuck with the Holosons. They're amazing. They're incredible. They use kind of shitty metal in their construction. It's like a cheaper grade of aluminum, but so I don't recommend Holosun mounts. I think they're kind of trash. They can get you by in a pinch, but I recommend getting like a nice solid mount, like a LaRue or a fucking LaRue or Geisley or fucking whatever. I also recommend 1.93 only because they don't really make. There are some NVG height mounts that are higher than 193. They're pretty fucking expensive. But I would recommend a motherfucking 2 1/4 if they made it. I have one on a PS92 and it's great. I fucking love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. My favorite to call something trash right off the bat. Yeah. The best 501 or the best Holosun in my opinion is the HS 403R, which has like 100,000 hours of battery life. Now, when we're talking Holosun, we are not talking, these are obviously like quantity over quality, right? Like we understand that, right? But in terms of like holding zero and shit, like basically, here, I'll give you the Holosun spiel. So basically, like you get a Holosun, if you get a Holosun, you're basically dealing with like the metal that they're using. It's probably like a 60 series aluminum. So it can strip easily. So what you want to do is fucking like unscrew that trash mount like you're doing fucking heart surgery, and then you want to get yourself like a fucking nice solid mount with some fucking Loctite, and then you just want to fucking set it in there, set it right, and then forget about it. Like you're not taking it off, it just stays there forever, and then boom, now you've got assuming that you didn't get a DOA, assuming that you didn't get like a DOA Holosun, then you should be good to go. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be good to go. If you get the 403R, you're gonna be good to go. And you can throw like one extra battery somewhere, and now you got 100K battery life, which is twice as long as an Aimpoint T2, by the way. I guess practically we wouldn't know because they haven't been out long enough to have 200,000 hours of burn time. Yeah, throw some red Loctite on there, sure. Put some red Loctite on the window if you're an elite operator. You just smear it on the front of your fucking objective lens of the red dot. And then what that does is you're challenging yourself for your level of skill. So you have to cock your head sideways a little bit, and it's called a we're like Magpul is like unfair advantage, right? But operator elite, the fucking elite squad is that's like the slogan there is level the playing field. So we want to make it as hard as possible for ourselves to fucking engage targets because we're so good. So we gimp ourselves by smudging red Loctite on the objective lens, and then you have to fucking like kind of like peek through it. You just kind of like, you just kind of like squeal and cant your head sideways, and you see through the crack, and then you fucking press it home. Well, I don't even know what a Tic Tac is. Is that a social media? I had a fucking skit that I never made because I just didn't want to. I didn't really want to like talk about Magpul and shit anymore, and so I didn't make it. But I did have a skit that was called Mag Push, and so it's basically going to be like if you hold up two fingers pushing in a magazine in a circle, it almost looks like the Magpul logo. And so it'd be like Mag Push, and then the slogan would be level the playing field instead of unfair advantage. And pretty much like everything was opposite of Magpul. And then I was just gonna 3D print like a fucking giant fucking ball, like a bulbous ball that you like mount into your fucking handguard, and it just like gets right the fuck in the way. And fucking all the fucking furniture for it would be like fucking neon colors so that you like you can't hide. Mag push, level the playing field. You gotta fucking push you guys gotta fucking step it up and push your mags. You're drinking if you're drinking regular like American beer, then you're not going to be able to get drunk enough. But if you had real beer, then you drink to the point where like even though you're sitting down at the table, you start to like fall out of the fucking bench seat or whatever, just kind of like melt into the floor, and that's when you know. That's when you know that you're drinking too much. You're not going to have a fun time in the morning. I'll tell you that. I don't know what a Duluth pants is. These are like cotton. These are cotton BDU pants that I typically order them off. I think I paid. These are fucking like $20. They're just cotton, and they're like they're fucking destroyed because I have so many. I mean, I pretty much like I have to change pants like usually like I don't know a couple times a week. I'll have to change pants and shit. So you go through a lot of these motherfuckers. Obviously, like 100% cotton is more comfortable, for summer. I do not recommend cotton for winter. Like if you're gonna be like out in the woods, I do not recommend cotton at all. Does pipe dope come out? I don't think so. I recommend like a poly split for GP BDU pants or whatever. Pretty much, I just get shit because it's cheap. You know what I mean? Because I'm a po' boy. So I buy like I'll find deals and shit. Like I found some fucking Polyco ripstop for like $10 a pair in my size. Joe asked, best way to stay dry in rain with kit. Be inside of a building. If you're like actually patrol, so a lot of people don't get this, but like actual like patrolling. So like, let's say that you're patrolling and it's like February or something, and so you're like wet, and you're gonna be like flashing in and out of sub-zero temperatures, or I mean sub-freezing temps, I should say rather. So like what you do is you're gonna be fucking wet as fuck while you're moving, right? And you're moving, and so you're not gonna freeze to death while you're moving. Once you stop, then you're gonna fucking switch out critical stuff that shouldn't be wet so you don't die. And then that's what you do. And then if you move again, then I mean, unless you're getting shot at or something, then obviously you're just gonna take what you got. But like if you're moving on purpose, then you're going to like fucking switch out your fucking dry shit for your wet shit. You know what I mean? It's not comfort's not much of a consideration. It's just your fucking, you know, trying to survive. I mean, you could try to wear like, you know, Gore-Tex and shit like that. It's not gonna fucking work. I mean, if you're just like standing, if you're just like standing in a field not doing anything, it'll work. If you're fucking humping, if you're humping fucking like weight, like you're gonna fucking fall out. You're basically gonna be wearing like a trash bag trying to fucking like fucking carry around, you know, anywhere from. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but you're gonna be like 40 to like 120 pounds running around the fucking woods, like going over logs and shit, getting fucking bushwhacked in the face by nature's cock. Yeah, I mean, fucking mag retention isn't really a big deal. I mean, if you're in the woods by yourself or whatever, like you might want to hold on to your mags, so that might be a big deal. Like military doesn't give a fuck about mags, but like if you're, you know, like if you have a limited number of mags, you probably want to fucking hold on to them. You can always go back. You know, you probably don't want to spend too much time on the objective if you're dropping mags. You don't want to spend too much time on the objective going around looking at fucking mags. The the drop pouches, a lot of that shit is like, you know, like just to have something that you can like fucking fish shove stuff into, you know what I mean? So like you may have to pick up something that you didn't even know you were going to be picking up that day, and you got to take it and you can just fucking shove it into the dump pouch. It's not necessarily for like mags. Okay, so somebody asked me about how many mags during deployment. So Iraq War was like pretty much like, I mean, practically like everything nowadays, except for light patrolling in mountains in like Afghanistan or something, is pretty much mechanized. So like the model now is mechanized, and even for people that are doing like light patrolling, their fucking supply is going to be mechanized. So there's a shitload of mechanized going on. So for mechanized, like I used to carry, you know, your standard 210. And then I'd have like a fucking ammo can that was just filled with fucking loaded mags, and then you just pull extra mags out of that, and then of course you have like, you know, have like a small bag that you can like hook onto your back or whatever, and have that bitch fill up with mags if you need it. But most of the time you just have a bunch shitload of mags in the fucking truck, because you're gonna have a fucking vehicle somewhere, like pretty close in the previous modern theater. If you're going around in the woods, I would have more than, if you're like on foot in the woods with no support, I would have more than fucking 210. I would probably have somewhere close to, I would probably push closer to fucking, I don't know, like 420 if you're by yourself. No, there's no Discord right now that I'm on. I may do something just for communication on Discord, but I'm not gonna do anything that's like, you know, I don't want to like pull a bunch of people into Discord. Yeah, there's all kinds of quality AKs on the market, especially particularly used AKs, like the old AKs are the shit. I think the arsenals are probably like the best quality, you know, like I would definitely get an arsenal. To me it's kind of crazy these days. Like AKs made a shitload of sense when they were fucking like cheap as fuck. It doesn't really make that much sense nowadays. Like you know, I don't really know what it's. I mean, if you're like an American, like you should be buying ARs, because AR components and parts right now are the cheapest they've ever been. Yeah, when I started buying AKs, like Ryan's talking about $300 AKs, I used to fucking buy AKs. Yeah, like I don't think I ever bought one for like straight $300, but I would buy them for like, you know, 350, 330. Fucking, oh no, I take it back. I did buy an AK-74 one time for $300. I think it was $300 shipped, like a fucking production 74. One time, like an American barreled AK-74, like a Century or something like that. I bought for like $300 shipped, I think, one time in like the early 2000s. But besides that, yeah, like 354 somewhere in there, depending on. Yeah, I only have Airsoft too. That's what we're talking. I'm only talking about Airsoft here. We're not talking. I thought that was indicative. It's your Joe is asking about the fucking power, the bulk power systems. They're gonna be power plants that are oversight of a task force. I'm sure do some work here.